I wanted to get Wayne Madsen, who worked for the NSA. He's written for some of the biggest publications in the country. He has the wayne-madsen-report.com. And we're talking about October Suprise, these toner cartridge bombs. First, they said they tested them and they weren't bombs. Now they say they have explosive material. Now somebody tried to mail a bomb out of Greece to Sarkozy. Another bomb's gone off. The normal leftist guerrilla groups that have been proven to be part of Operation Gladio and the NATO stay-behind networks. This takes the news cycle off of the election and the establishment candidates being routed. It allows Obama to pose as the savior and say, see, I protected you again, which is what some of his people like Robert Shapiro had called for back in July. Now, this is very transparent. I want to get Wayne Madsen's breakdown on this. Wayne, you predicted it. I predicted it. It wasn't hard to predict an October surprise, and now it's happened.
Halloween 2004, what's considered to be a very close race between George Bush and John Kerry. On Halloween, we have this Osama-bin-Laden videotape broadcast all over the world. I happen to be visiting the United Nations headquarters in New York, and people just looked at that and said, it's obviously the Bush people trying to influence the election. October 2000, the USS Cole hit with a bomb. We don't know the full story on what happened to the Cole, I'll add. But again, in Aden Harbor in Yemen. And so, Yemen is the gift that keeps on giving for the neocons when they need an October surprise.
Because Obama himself gets to pose as our savior, but the military industrial complex, they get to continue the naked body scanners, the domestic police state, the trillions on wars, the expanded operations in Yemen, Pakistan. They're all over the media saying, see, we need to keep these wars going. See, we need more checkpoints. See, we're protecting you from the terrorists. So this October surprise on so many fronts helps all the different arms of this corporate system.
Oh, no, and if you drill down to how the latest thing was carried out, we have this guy, Dabir al-Fayfi. He was a detainee of the United States in Guantanamo, originally picked up in Afghanistan. He was released by the U.S. to the Saudis, who put him through a quote-unquote rehabilitation program under the control of the kingdom. He's released. He runs off and rejoins Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, this new McDonald's-like franchise of Al-Qaeda. They've got franchises all over the world. I don't know who has more, McDonald's or Al-Qaeda. Al-Fayfi is now the source for the tip-off from the Saudis to the UAE and the United States. Oddly enough, David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, wasn't even informed about this latest thing for 16 hours, which makes you wonder, with the new British government, they're maybe not as subservient as the past one, Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, so he's left out of the loop. This comes right on the heels of the chairman of British Airways saying he thinks U.S. security controls are ridiculous, they're too intrusive, and now we have this. Now there's a call for greater controls. I'll point out Al-Fayfi was flown in a private jet in October from Yemen, Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, to Saudi Arabia. The Yemenis are saying Al-Fayfi is a Saudi double agent. So here we have all this information originating from a Saudi double agent, and considering that Saudi intelligence works in lockstep with the Mossad and the CIA, I think we can see right through this. This is another false flag, and one that looks like it was from the Austin Powers School of Intelligence Comedy.
Well, Wayne Madsen, it's so transparent. Obviously, this is targeted at Americans who aren't really paying attention and just hear this background noise of some guy with a turban and a beard, he wants to get me. But now the media is saying Anwar-al-Awlaki, who admittedly was meeting 2 months after 9/11 at the Pentagon with top brass, including the Secretary of the Army, he's behind Fort Hood, he's behind the underwear bombing on Christmas Day, he's behind the Times Square bombing. Specifically, clearly Awlaki is one of their operatives, a patsy minder. but it's so transparent. I mean, why can't the government come up with better staged terror attacks? Why are these so Laurel and Hardy?
Oh, I think they know that they can run this by the Fox Newses and the CNNs without any questions being asked. I think it's also amazing that one of the package bombs was addressed to a Chicago synagogue. It's called Congregation Emmanuel. I kid you not, and that's a congregation that caters to the Chicago's gay and lesbian Jewish community. Gee, who's running for mayor there? They're not even as good. I mean, either that or they're just like in your face about this. Now the UPS office in Sana'a in Yemen that is supposed to have been where one of these letter bombs, these package bombs was shipped. It's UPS Yemen, and it's located, get this, on Al-Qiyada Street. Al-Qiyada Street. Could be pronounced Al-Qaeda Street. ALQIYA88. Al-Qiyada Street. I mean, yeah, they're not that good. But they know they can run this jive by the American people because of the media. Media's not going to see through this nonsense.
But Awlaki is at the Pentagon hanging out. We know he's being controlled. We know he's being protected. This Rashid Aswat came out in British news, was MI6, protected, allowed to travel wherever he wanted to, admittedly running the 7-7 patsies. I mean, it never ends. And more and more, I think it's a message to those of us that can think, that do research, that yes, we're staging the terror attacks. What are you going to do about it? Look at all the sheep buying into it. But every time the ruling Anglo-American establishment stages a pre-election stunt like this, it always aids multiple fronts: the military-industrial complex, incumbents, the backlash against the naked body scanners. Wayne, talk about some of the other camps that stand to gain from this event.
Oh, well, we already see there's been a proposal from the CIA to have the CIA put in charge of U.S. Special Operations units operating in Yemen. Right now, they're under the control of the Pentagon. This obviously is going to open the door for that. We're going to have kind of a replay of the secret war in Laos under the Johnson and Nixon administrations. We'll have the secret war in Yemen. And
of course, that'll be manufacturing terror attacks. They've got to be in Yemen to stage the attacks and say that they're a real Muslim terrorist.
Oh, absolutely. And let's not forget that Yemen is now involved in a three-part civil war with the Shia al-Zaidi sect in the north fighting the central government, and the South Yemenis, who are absolutely secular in nature. This is the former Democratic Republic of Yemen, was a socialist country. They are anything but friends of Al-Qaeda. They're actually anti-Islamic. They're totally secular. They're basically
whoever the globalists want to take over, Iraq, you name it, they say they're Al-Qaeda. They've been saying Iran runs Al-Qaeda when the Shiites in Al-Qaeda, Saudi-based, are arch enemies. I mean, it's just for anybody who has any geopolitical knowledge, this is a complete joke. Al-Qaeda is like a little set piece. They move around the global board wherever they want to invade.
Oh, absolutely. Al-Qaeda, I mean, it's quite clear that Al-Qaeda is something that exists to serve all purposes for the intelligence community. It can one size fits all. It's like a new product from Ronco. One size fits all terrorist group. All these characters look like they come out of central casting. They're all ready for their close-ups with Mr. DeMille. And here we have al-Awlaki, and we have bomb maker Al-Asiri, the mastermind bomb maker. Well, we've seen the bomb makers before. They were used successfully in all kinds of attacks by Palestinian groups. We had several master bomb makers supposedly sitting in the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon. So this is an old script. It's an old script, but it's getting more ridiculous with the idea that the UPS office in Yemen is on Al-Qaeda Street. I mean, it defies logic. If it wasn't so serious to see being frittered away, now passengers undergoing more intrusive body searches where they actually reach up and grab your crotch and fondle women's
No,
breasts.
ABC News says it's what we do for the homeland, that they will actually grab the genitals with the inside of their hands and squeeze the breast. That was Friday. Now today, the Wall Street Journal reports that everyone will have their genitals grabbed. So it's like, oh, you don't like naked body scanners? We're going to do that to you, and we're going to grab you between the legs. Nobody's grabbing. I mean, no. I mean, it's just, they want to break our will, and they're inducting us into this police state cult.
Well, I guess the next thing we'll have is Barack Obama volunteering for PSA.
You know, Wayne, normally your cell phone, when you're on your cell phone on the road, is working. Everything you said just cut up.
It's probably because of what I said. I said probably we'll have Robert Monroe and Barack Obama volunteering for TSA screening duty at O'Hare Airport soon with the genital grabbing operation.
Well, you know, it's not a joke that so many TSA workers get caught raping children, raping women. Every wannabe sex offender in the country, you can now go publicly and, hey, you like how somebody's wife looks? You know, she's yours. But now they say everyone will. I mean, I was watching children last week in California, in San Jose, Wayne, small children, 3-year-olds, being run through naked body scanners.
Oh, and now we know that they can store and forward those images. So I guess this is made to order for the North American Man Boy Love Association.
Yeah, Barney Frank. It's all going to his inbox.
I could imagine not only him, but probably about 35% of the current members of the House and Senate. I think it's getting to the point where these terror alerts are so fake. These incidents are so fake. You just got to stand back and you laugh.
Wayne, stay there. I want to do 2 segments with you on the other side and get into some other issues and how you think this fake terror alert is playing with the public. Remember, Governor Ridge admitted they issued fake terror alerts in 2004. That's not Wayne-Madsen's opinion.